Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Thursday.
Thursday. Where has our day
Oh
gone?
my goodness, I'm so excited that it's Thursday.
I know.
Today, we are going to talk about harvest time and scarecrows.
Ooh, we kind of talked about it when we did our anchor chart.
So, the harvest is a big work.
That is a big, big word.
And we did talk about it happens in the fall time. So, harvest is when farmers go out and they pick the fruits and vegetables out of their fields. So we harvest apples, which we talked about. We harvest pumpkins, which we'll talk about next week. Corn is harvested this time of year. Hay.
Different types of vegetables get harvested.
Soybeans are harvested this time of year. So you might see fields with, it looks like grass growing about this high. It turned yellow a couple weeks ago, and farmers are starting to harvest that now too.
Yeah, so there is a lot of
farm work.
Especially if you are in the area we live in.
Yeah. You might see buckwheat fields.
Definitely. I know kind of probably grapes will be soon too.
Grapes were in September, actually.
In September,
yes.
so definitely you'll see some things. Some things are already done.
So you'll see grapes and grape juice.
Grape
pies.
Ooh, grape pies.
It's a great time of year for that.
Yeah, especially in our area, you drive down the road and you'll see different vegetable stands, things like that.
And you'll see lots of tractors in fields. Lots of harvesters.
Yep. Combines. It's my kids in my room. Combines.
All right. So something that is in a field, or like a smaller garden, is something called a scarecrow.
Ooh, a scarecrow. Are they scary?
They're not really scary to us, but they're scary to different animals.
Oh, so they're not scary to us. What is that?
We are going to find out what a scarecrow is for.
All right.
So this looks like a person.
It does.
It's in the middle of a field, and we have some animals down here looking up.
He's kind of standing straight out with his arms like that.
He's wearing a coat and gloves, a scarf, hat, and he has a face too. So we will see what happens in our book. The Lonely Scarecrow. In the middle of a field, under a sky the color of cornflowers, stood a scarecrow. He had a scary face, but a kindly heart. More than anything, he wished the animals and birds would be his friends.
Oh, they won't be his friends? I wonder why.
This is a poppy field.
I know, I was going to say
poppies.
poppies.
But the creatures of the field were afraid of the scarecrow. His flapping coat and his big black hat. They were afraid of his beady eyes and his crooked nose and his jagged metal mouth. So they were scared of him. Why do you think there was a scarecrow scaring animals out of a food field? Field with food in it.
What are those animals going to do?
In the spring, the scarecrow watched the animals play at the edge of his field. He watched the birds as they made their nests, and he watched the carefree tumblings of fox cubs and rabbits. He listened to the noisy ducklings by the old pond, and all the time, the animals watched the scary scarecrow, but they never came near. Each day, the swaying wheat in the field grew taller. The scarecrow lost sight of the animals. He lost even the happy song of the lark, drowned out by the whispering of the wheat. Marooned in his golden sea, the scarecrow lost hope of ever making friends. Poor guy.
So sad. He's still all by himself.
Then the combine monster came to harvest the wheat. Harvest, there's another word. The animals hid from his churning jaws and the ravaged acres of mud and stubble that left behind. They also hid from the scarecrow, who stood alone now in the empty field. Here he is out there, the combine. He's going to pick up all of the wheat. From the north came a sly breeze that stole the leaves from the trees and the light from the days. So we lost our leaves and light during the day.
Just like we talked about in our anchor chart.
And the animals hurried home to their warm burrows and cozy nests. They're going to hibernate, Miss Alicia.
Man, our little anchor chart was right on.
And the scarecrow felt even lonelier, for he knew that winter was coming, because winter comes after summer.
Yeah.
In the morning, the animals woke to a world that had changed. A thick blanket of snow covered the frozen earth. The scarecrow seemed to have vanished, too. In its place stood a jolly snowman. The snow covered him into a snowman.
Oh, he turned into a snowman.
The creatures played happily in the field, rolling and tumbling in the snow around the scarecrow. And the scarecrow? Well, he was cheerful and bright as the sunny winter day. So he was happy his friends were finally playing with him, because he looked different. Although he was happy, the scarecrow was afraid of what would happen when he lost his snowy coat. He was afraid that the animals would shrink from his twisted shape, and most of all, he was afraid he would be alone again. And then the snow began to melt. And the snow slipped off of the scarecrow's shoulders and dripped from the brim of his hat. And when the last patches of snow fell from his face, the animals looked up and wondered, could the friendly snowman be the same scary creature they had feared for so long? As the warmth of spring stirred the brown earth, the scarecrow felt a bird peck at his hat and a mouse nestle in the folds of his coat. And the scarecrow knew that he would never be lonely again. All right, so
Now-
scarecrows,
Yeah, so they're not very scary.
No.
But animals think they're scary.
yeah.
Why would they be in a field?
Well, Miss Alicia, scarecrows are in a field to scare away animals so they don't eat all the crops in the field.
Oh, yeah, because those crops, those food that we harvest, those are for us to eat or for, farmers, maybe they give food to their cows or they send them away to a grocery store. So you want to make sure that we have food.
Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to make a puppet scarecrow. I'm going to take a piece of tape and I'll put it up on the board to make it so that you can see. And this can be done with just a few simple pieces of paper. All right, so there's our scarecrow base taped up on our board. So, Miss Alicia, I'm going to start first with the scarecrow's outfit.
Okay, what is his outfit?
So he is going to wear, and you could make this just a rectangle too. He's going to wear this big blue thing with a yellow patch on it. And it's going to go
All right.
right here.
That yellow patch looks like a shape.
It does look like a shape. What shape do you think that is?
Well, it's kind of crooked, but if I look at it, it looks like kind of like a rectangle.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it's a
It is
rectangle.
a rectangle because this side is longer than this side.
Yeah, it's
All
true.
the sides are different
Yeah.
sizes. So we have our clothes on.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing he also forgot.
What's that?
He was wearing something in the picture that like the mouse kind of, or the bird was sitting on at the end of the story.
Pecking, yeah.
The bird was pecking this. This is kind of almost like a half circle. And just a piece of paper. It's his hat.
We have his hat
He
on.
needed a hat.
All right, and so we have to make his face.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a crooked nose, but for us, we are going to use a triangle.
A triangle, a crooked nose that is a triangle. And what else did he kind of have?
So,
Do we have?
In the picture, well, you can't really see it in this picture, but a lot of scarecrows, their clothes are stuffed with straw,
Mhm.
with hay or straw. So that was his hair coming out of his hat.
His hair.
They're
So we
long
need some
rectangles.
long rectangles for his hair. They kind of go under his hat.
And they hang off his head.
And they hang off his head. Yeah, that looks really neat. Look at that. Got some hair hanging off the rectangles.
Now, if you'd like, you could make some eyes for him. I had his hat covering up his eyes. So that is our scarecrow.
That is so much fun. You can do it with anything around your house.
And then look what happens when you take it off.
Oh boy, what is he gonna do?
It's a puppet.
That is so much fun. Maybe you can tell us a story about your scarecrow.
And what he does. All right. So that is it for today. We will see you again on Friday.
Friday, oh my.